actually bring down for us as to what Jefferies India Strategy is indicating in terms of what could be on the cards. Niraj, over to you.
Actually, Hiral, I'm going to break it up into a fundamental view and a technical view, right? The fundamental view by Mahesh Nandurkar of Jefferies and the technical view by Lawrence Balanco of CLSA. And here's what Mahesh says. Can we start? Maybe we start with the fundamental and try and talk what Mahesh Nandurkar had to say. So he says that the valuations currently are unfavorable, but flows are now the brightest spot for India. And therefore, all eyes will be on how flows work out. He's of course saying that the MSCI India PE at 23 times hints that valuations have become demanding. And you got to agree with this. He of course mentions about how the FY25 to 27 EPS CAGR estimates, expectations are about 11 to 12% with the usual downside risk, and therefore 23 times multiples is not cheap. So I think it's a valid point. He of course also mentions about how flows both domestic and foreign, the outlook remains the key positive, and therefore that may well take the markets even higher. They've made some changes. They're saying, of course, that the flows will be conducive to the potential equity supply, which can cap the upsides. Effectively, more IPOs, more FPOs, promoter stake sales, all of that. The changes that they've made to the portfolio, they've added Ambuja and BEL to the model portfolio. They've trimmed positions in Shriram Finance and Coal India. Now, if Mahesh is sounding slightly cautious, Lawrence Balanco is sounding anything but. He says Nifty has been resilient as the index has maintained the breakout above the 200-day moving average. I presume this is with regards to yesterday's breakout move. And he goes on to say that this breakout suggests an upside target of 26,333, which is a level that effectively revisits the highs of 2024. So if Nifty holds on to some supports, these levels are possible. That Nifty 50 DMA remains the critical support to maintain the bullish bias. On mid caps and small caps, he says the NSE mid cap index has cleared the resistance given by the 200-day moving average with supports and upside target of 6,300. On the small caps, the test and rebound of the 50-day moving average is positive with supports and upside target of 19,520, but that the breakout above this thing will add further credibility, but it needs to do more work to gain the leadership position. I think that's the point that Lawrence Balanco is saying. So clearly seemingly very constructive on large caps, maybe even mid caps, not as much on the small caps, Hiral.